Hello, my dear aspirants. Welcome to Sahithya Academy channel. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಜಕೋಬಿಯನ್ ಡ್ರಾಮಾನ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ 2 ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ ಮೀಸಲಾತಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಹಾಗೆ ವರದಿ ಇನ್ನೇನೋ ಸಲ್ಲಿಕೆ ಆಗಲಿದೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 60,000 ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರನ್ನೊಳಗೊಂಡಂತೆ ಸಮೀಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನ ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. 5ನೇ ತಾರೀಕಿಂದ 17ನೇ ತಾರೀಕುವರೆಗೂ ಸಮೀಕ್ಷೆ ನಡೆದು ವರದಿ ಸಲ್ಲಿಕೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳು ಬೇಗ ಮುಗಿದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಬೇಗ ಬೇಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಬೇಗ ಬೇಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವೇಗವನ್ನ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ನೆಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ JRF ಸೆಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ಸಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬರೀರಿ. ನಿಮಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗಬಹುದು. ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೂ ಮೊದಲು ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಬೇಗ ಬೇಗ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಟೆಲಿಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಮರಿಬೇಡಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ PDF ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್. ನಿಮಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮರಿದೇ ಒಂದು ಲೈಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಜೊತೆ ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ಜಕೋಬಿಯನ್ ಡ್ರಾಮಾಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಜಾನ್ ವೆಬ್ಸ್ಟರ್. ಇವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅಧಿಕೃತವಾದಂತಹ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್, ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಇಲ್ದಿರೋ ಕಾರಣ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ research something approximate information. He was born in 1578 and died in 1638. Very little is known with the certainty about Webster's life, as I said already. Webster carved a distinctive place in the Jacobean theatre through his psychologically intense tragedies, characterized by their dark, brooding atmospheres. Philosophical depth is there, and complex female protagonists are there. He is very famous for tragedies, violence, blood, dark tragedy. Brooding nature is there. Someone is plotting against another character. Major protagonists are female characters here. He worked with Thomas Dekker, with whom he co-wrote Westward Ho and Northward Ho. In Jacobean drama, we can see so many collaborated works. Please remember all those collaborated works. He also believed to be worked with William Rowley, Thomas Middleton, John Fletcher, John Ford, perhaps Philip Messenger. His two masterpieces are, among all other his works, two masterpieces, tragedies are The White Devil and Duchess of Malfi. Even T.S. Eliot famously described about his work, his contribution. He described him as much possessed by death, because all his plays, like all the characters are going to be dead. And remarked that he saw the skull beneath the skin. He talks about morality, he talks about violence, he talks about mistreatments. Let's discuss about The White Devil. Here I have given a little information. Please do more research on these works. The White Devil, published in 1612. This is one of the famous Jacobean tragedies. This is a Jacobean tragedy based on real events in Italian history. Especially the scandal surrounding Vittoria Accoramboni. So this is the real character. And the murder of her husband and subsequent assassination. ಸೊ ಅವಳ ಗಂಡನ್ನ ಮರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ಹಿಂದೆನೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕೊಲೆಗಳಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಬೇಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನ ಬರೆದಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. The story, our The White Devil story is centers around Vittoria Corombona. So this is the like she is our protagonist here, Vittoria Corombona, in our play, The White Devil. She is a beautiful woman from a noble but impoverished Italian family. She becomes the object of desire for Duke Bracciano, a powerful unmarried nobleman. He seduced her and he fell for her because of her beauty and cunningness. Despite being married to Isabella, Bracciano already married Isabella. Who is this Isabella? Isabella is the sister of the Duke of Florence. Bracciano is captivated by Vittoria's beauty and cunning. Victoria, anyways, encouraged by her ambitious brother Flaminio. So, Victoriaಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಣ್ಣ ಕೂಡ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. Actually, he encouraged her to love Bracciano because he serves as Bracciano's secretary. He is more cunning character. Becomes Bracciano's mistress. Victoria becomes Bracciano's mistress. Vittoria encourages Bracciano to kill her husband Camillo and his wife Isabella. Did you understand, my dear friends? Vittoria's husband Camillo, and Bracciano's wife Isabella. Here, Vittoria encourages Bracciano to kill his wife Isabella and her husband Camillo. She wanted to remain pure. Like Bracciano is going to be a criminal. She wants to stay away from all these murders. Next, what happens? Bracciano quickly marries Vittoria. As soon as he killed Camillo and Isabella, he married Vittoria. However, Vittoria's marriage to Bracciano shocks the court and brings down moral and legal judgment upon her. ಇಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರಾ? ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಗಂಡ ತೀರ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇವನ್ಗೆ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ತೀರ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಅದೆಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಇವರು ಮದುವೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ಅಲ್ವಾ? So this is a moral question. She is put on trial. See, there is injustice. The court could have asked for justice or conduct a trial against Bracciano also, because he is equally culprit. But here they questioned Victoria's mood towards her marriage, her morality. Anyways, apart from patriarchal setting, let's come to the play. She is put on trial by the Italian church and nobility in a famous courtroom scene. Please look into courtroom scene. This is very important in this play. Look into the scenes and very famous dialogues here that showcases her intelligence. You have to look into the conversation or dialogues by Vittoria Corombona in the scene. She is condemned and sent to a house of convertites. It means convertites anta heladre a convent like institution for fallen women. She is condemned to be in this convertites because not because of her crime, because of her behavior in this courtroom. This is very sarcastic. Isabella's brother means Bracciano's wife's brother, the Duke of Florence, Francisco di Medici, seeks revenge. Okay, ನನ್ನ ತಂಗಿನೇ ಸಾಯಿಸ್ತೀಯ ಅಲ್ವಾ ನೀನು ಅಂತ ಅವನೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಬ್ರಾಕಿಯಾನೋ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿಕ್ಟೋರಿಯಾ ಇವರಿಬ್ರು ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎಣಿತಾನೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಬ್ರೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್, ಸಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್. He appointed a man, Ludovico, maybe his character, the character's name is Ludovico. ಸೊ ಅವನನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಬ್ರಾಕಿಯಾನೋ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿಕ್ಟೋರಿಯಾ ಇವರಿಬ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಸಾಯಿಸ್ತಾನೆ. ದ ಪ್ಲೇ ಎಂಡ್ಸ್ blood bath, characteristics of Jacobean tragedy. This is violence, blood, where justice is ambiguously served. This is all about the White Devil. Please look into more details about the play. Next is the Duchess of Malfi. Duchess of Malfi, published in 1623, though it was written in 1612. This play is set in the aristocratic courts of Renaissance Italy. You can see this is the common feature of Jacobean dramas. Most of the plays set in Italian court or Italian Renaissance, what to say, atmosphere. The play begins in the court of the Duchess of Malfi, a young widow. Recently, she lost her husband, who rules with grace and wisdom. She is very beautiful. She has two powerful and controlling brothers. Who are they? Ferdinand, the Duke of Calabria, who has incestuous feelings towards her. See, he has sexual desires towards his own sister, Duchess of Malfi. And the Cardinal, another brother is the Cardinal, a cold Machiavellian churchman. He is also one of the villains here. Churchman driven by power. Since he is the Cardinal, he has the power. Both brothers are determined that the Duchess should remain unmarried because why? In part to protect the family's wealth and honor. ಅವಳು ಮದ್ವೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಸ್ತಿ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. However, the Duchess secretly falls in love with her steward. Who is that? Antonio Bologna, a man of lower social rank but genuine virtue and intelligence. He is a very good person. Comparatively, two brothers of Duchess of Malfi. She falls in love with a good man, a handsome man. There is no surprise in that. But now there is a problem arises. Despite her brother's disapproval, the Duchess secretly marries Antonio and bears him three children. Duchess entrusts her secret to her maid, Cariola, and for a while they live in hidden happiness. I think you have seen so many, what is it, such palace scenes. Queen's bedrooms, queen's private rooms are very spacious. It is like a big house for us now, today. So they can live there. Her suspicious brothers hire a spy and ex-convict Bosola. Very important character, Bosola. ಓಕೆ, ಅವಳೇನೋ ಮದ್ವೆ ಆದ್ಲು, ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆಂಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಬ್ರು ಬ್ರದರ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಇವಾಗ ಏನೋ ಅನುಮಾನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನನ್ನ ತಂಗಿ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆನ್ನ ಹಿಂದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕಳ್ಳ ಆಗಿದ್ದಂತಹ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಡೆತ್ ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಗುರಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಬಸೋಲನ ತಂದು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಡಚಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಾಯೋಕೆ ಅಂತ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ. Here, Basola reveals the truth. Basola discovers the Duchess's secret marriage and pregnancy. Now disaster starts. When the truth is found, Ferdinand, who has sexual desire towards his sister, descends into a state of madness because he doesn't want to share her with anybody else, tormented by jealousy and shame. Instead of killing the Duchess outright, ಅವನೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, he subjects her to psychological torment. This play is famous for this kind of feature presentation. Now Ferdinand wants to punish her anyway, but he doesn't punish her right there. He doesn't kill her. Instead of that, see what he does. He presents her with wax figures that resemble the corpses of her husband and children, convincing her that they have been murdered. So it was such a big shock for her. Eventually, the Duchess is imprisoned with her maid, Cariola, and both are strangled on her brother's orders. In between, Antonio was escaped with his elder son, and her rest of her two children were murdered. Her final words before strangled to death, I am of Malfi still, symbolizes her inner strength and refusal to be defined by the violence done to her. She is very proud of herself. Murder, the play shifts focus to the aftermath. What happens afterwards? Ferdinand descends further into madness because finally he lost her. He says, when he saw her dead body, please close the dead body. My eyes are dazzled. Like that, he said. Famous quote. Plagued by guilt and hallucinations. The cardinal attempts to distance himself from the crime. ಓ ಓಕೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಲೆಗಳು ಆಗಿದೆ, ನಾನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನು ಚರ್ಚಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಉನ್ನತ ಹುದ್ದೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಪವರ್ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕಂಟಕ ತಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಅವನು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಮರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಅವನು ದೂರ ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ. ದೋ ಈ ಸಚ್ ಅ ವಿಲನ್, ಡೋಂಟ್ ಫರ್ಗೆಟ್ ದಾಟ್. Anyways, Basola, experiencing a moral awakening, turns against his former masters. Finally, he realizes something, maybe regarding Duchess's innocence. He kills the cardinal and finally owns Ferdinand. Morally awakened Basola turned against his own masters and killed Cardinal, fatally wounds Ferdinand, but not before being mortally wounded himself. ಅವನಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಸಾಯೋಷ್ಟು ಅವನು ಕೂಡ ಗಾಯಾಳು ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಇನ್ ದ ಫೈನಲ್ ಮೊಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಂಟೋನಿಯೋ, ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕೊಲೆಗಳು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲೇ, in the final moment, Antonio, who had been hiding with his elder son, arrives at the palace unaware of the Duchess' death. He is tragically killed in a case of mistaken identity. So sad. ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರೋ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವನು ಕೂಡ ಕೊಲೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಪಡ್ತಾನೆ. The play ends with a glimmer of hope. The Duchess's young son by Antonio is presented as the rightful heir, suggesting the possibility of renewal and justice. Sorry, this is not young, actually elder son. Only remaining character. So this is all about the Duchess of Malfi. Please look into more information because this is one of the important plays who are all writing NET or KSET and upcoming recruitment exams. Please look into more informations regarding ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ನಾನು ಯಾವುದು ತುಂಬ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಮೇಕ್ ಡೌನ್ some notes and do some research more on those writers and writings. Next, Francis Beaumont. We have learned something about Webster. Now it is Francis Beaumont. Francis Beaumont was born in 1584, died in 1616. He is very famous for his collaborated works with John Fletcher. ನಾವು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಸ್ ಬಿಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಓದಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ to study his works with John Fletcher. Known for his collaborative work with John Fletcher, Beaumont's literary career began with poetry. His earliest known work is the Elegy on the Death of Lady Markham and a satirical verse piece titled Salmacis and Hermaphroditus 1602. This is a narrative poem based on Ovid's Metamorphoses. Don't neglect them as minor works. Okay, each and every works are very important. Solo play. I already told you. So Francis Beaumont used to collaborate with other workers, other playwrights. ಸೊ ಅವನು ಒಂಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಬರೆದಂತಹ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದ ವುಮನ್ ಹೇಟರ್ 1607 shows the influence of Ben Jonson's satirical style. He was influenced by Ben Jonson, of course, a contemporary writer. The Night of the Burning Pestle 1608. It is considered one of the earliest examples of meta theatre, a play aware and comments on its own theatrical nature, direct engagement with the audience. Very important because of this. Meta theater means you can see when there is a play going on the stage, it has displaying its own events, its own characters, whatever. It is distanced itself with the audience. There is no relationship between the stage enactment and the audience. But here, Francis Beaumont introduced a new feature that all the, we can see those characteristics in modern theaters and postmodern theaters. Characters talk to the audience and they related to the enactment. So there is a what is a uh, mixture of everything. There is no distance between audience and the stage. In a London theatre where a group of actors is about to perform a drama titled The London Merchant. Important. So this is the main play. The Night of the Burning Pestle. ಇದರ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ದ ಲಂಡನ್ ಮರ್ಚೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ಪ್ಲೇ ನ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. So they started to have a conversation with the audience. Why? However, before the performance can begin, a citizen character also, from the audience, a grocer and his wife, members of the audience, ಇಂಟರಪ್ಟ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಇಂಟರಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಪ್ಲೇ ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡೋಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈಗ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ದೇ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇನ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ always focus on nobles, upper class people and never give common people heroic representation. To address this, they demand that their apprentice ರೇಫ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅವನಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಿ ಗಿವನ್ ಅ ಮೇಜರ್ ರೋಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ನೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೋಲ್ಜರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕಾಮನ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಉನ್ನತವಾದಂತಹ ಹುದ್ದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೈಟ್. ಹಿಸ್ ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿ ಮೇನ್ ನರೇಟಿವ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದ ಬರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ the Night of the Burning Pestle. This is the main narrative. So the Rafe's events are included in this main play, which was originally intended to follow the story of Jasper, the main character of the play is protagonist is called Jasper, an apprentice who loves Luz, the daughter of a wealthy London merchant, venture well. Jasper's romance and struggle against Luz's arranged marriage to the foolish Humphrey continue alongside Rafe's ridiculous escapades, creating a dual narrative. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಜಾಸ್ಪರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ರೇವ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಆಗಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಮೇಕ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ narrative that constantly undermines itself, creating a dual narratives. Isn't it? ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಆಗಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕಾನ್ವರ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲೇ. John Fletcher. John Fletcher was born in 1579 and died in 1625. He was collaborated with Francis Beaumont and later with William Shakespeare also. His first major solo work is The Faithful Shepherdess, important play, a pastoral tragic comedy. John Fletcher is famous for tragic comedy. He co-authored at least one and possibly more of Shakespeare's later plays, most notably Henry VIII and The Two Noble Kinsmen and the last play Cardenio. Fletcher died suddenly during the plague outbreak of 1625. So, collaborated works together. Which are the important works? Francis Beaumont and John Fletcher. Tragic comedy is Philosopher or subtitle, not subtitle, another title. Love Lies a Bleeding, 1610. This is a tragic comedy set in a fictionalized version of Sicily. Philosopher revolves around the rightful prince of the kingdom. So the main character is also Philosopher, whose throne has been usurped by a foreign king. The usurping king seeks to secure his role by marrying his daughter Arethusa to Paramount, a lascivious Spanish prince. However, Arethusa and Philosopher fall in love. The play concludes on a reconciliatory note with Philosopher and Arethusa united in love. ಸೊ ಅವನ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾರು ಕಿತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅವನ ಮಗಳ ಜೊತೆನೆ ಇವನಿಗೆ ಲವ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಫೈನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವರಿಬ್ರು ಒಂದ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಟ್ರಾಜಿಕ್ ಕಾಮಿಡಿ ಫೀಚರ್, salient feature. There are some tragic events, there are some happy moments. Comedy is also there. Next play is A King and No King, published in 1611. This is also a tragic comedy or psychological drama. This play centers on Arbaces, the king of Iberia. Iberia means modern day Spain, who has returned victorious from war. So war ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗೆದ್ದು ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, he is reunited with his sister Panthea and soon finds himself consumed with the forbidden desire for her. Like Ferdinand falls in love with his own sister Duchess, Arbaces also falls in love with Panthea, his own sister, leading to a profound psychological and moral conflict like Duchess of Malfi. Next is The Maid's Tragedy. This is a tragedy. These two plays are tragic comedies and this is tragedy. It begins with Amintor, a loyal courtier set to marry Evadne, a lady of the court. However, Evadne is secretly the mistress of the king, who has forced the marriage to conceal their affair. So, Evadne is running an affair with the king. So, king ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವಳಿಗೂ ಇದ್ದಂತಹ ಅಫೇರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮುಚ್ಚಾಕೋಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, Evadne marries to Amintor. ಸೊ ಅವರಿಬ್ರು ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನ ಮುಚ್ಚಾಕೋಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಫಾರ್ ನೇಮ್ ಸೇಕ್ ಶಿ ಮ್ಯಾರಿಡ್ ಅ ಮೆಂಟೋರ್. He murders the king and she stabs herself eventually. So her moral consciousness arises, awakens, and she kills the king. And finally, with guilt and grief, she stabs herself. This is about the maid's tragedy. So next is Thomas Middleton, very important writer at the time and important for us also. Was born in 1580, died in 1627. His literary career began with the poetry and pamphlets such as Microsynicon, important work. Microsynicon, published in 1599, a satirical verse attacking vice and corruption, which was later banned. That is why it is very important. Controversial work. He collaborated frequently with other playwrights, particularly Thomas Dekker, William Rowley, later John Webster, and John Fletcher. Middleton is best known for his sharp witted and realistic city comedies. Important city comedies. City comedies usually taken place in cities and other features of urban what is say voices and virtues are happened in this city comedy. A Chaste Maid in Cheapside, important work by Thomas Middleton. A Chaste Maid in Cheapside, written in 1613 but published in 1630. This is also a city comedy, contains three plots centered around the marriage of Moll Yellow Warmer. Next is A Game at Chess, like a chess match. So all the characters are personified, like ಚೆಸ್ ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ರೀತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಫೀಚರ್. ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜೀಸ್ mirroring political negotiations. We can imagine today also how politics is going on, how politicians are playing with commoners, voters, isn't it? The play shows how the Black House here meant for Spain, attempts to corrupt and manipulate the White House, which is White House here, England, through diplomatic tricks, religious conversions, means Catholicism, conversion to Catholic, sexual entrapment, and false promises like the marriage proposals. So this is about a game at chess. Next was Macamal. Oh, on the screen. Wait. Yeah. Macalma's term and a trick to catch the old one. These are also early city comedies, but minor. Tragedies by Middleton. The Revenger's Tragedy. 1606 attributed originally to Cyril Turner. ಸೊ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಸಿರಿಲ್ ಟಾರ್ನರ್ ಬರೆದಿರಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಗಳ ವಾದ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ವೈಡ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಮಿಡಲ್ಟನ್ಸ್. Most of the researchers accepted this work written by Middleton. This is a savage satire of court corruption and moral decay, full of black humor and Machiavellian plots. Next important work is Women Beware Women, 1621, The Changeling. These two are very important tragedies. The Changeling with William Rowley, but Women Beware Women, written by himself, important tragedy. So, tragedies anta ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ The Witch, 1615, a macabre and atmospheric tragic comedy involving black magic, which likely influenced Shakespeare's Macbeth. Three witches. Middleton's witches are grotesque, earthy, and disturbing. Very intense characters, witches. Next is The World Tossed at Tennis, collaborated with Rowley, This is a mask. Means mask is meant to enact only in the court, like peace blending, politics and allegory. Next is the second maiden's tragedy, a Yorkshire tragedy. Into women beware women. Published in 1621, set in Renaissance like other plays, set in Italy. The play explores themes of lust, corruption, ambition, power, and the commodification of women. ಸೊ ಯಾರು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಗ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋ ರೀತಿ. ಆಲ್ ಅನ್ಫೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಮೋರಲಿ ಡಿಕೇಯಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. Bianca, important protagonist here, Bianca. You can see this character in T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland. The plot follows Bianca, who elopes with Leoncio but is seduced by the Duke of Florence of the manipulative widow Livia. Here, the chess game is used as a symbol, means manipulating game. While Bianca's mother-in-law plays chess with Livia, the Duke seduces Bianca. You can see this in The Wasteland. This is alluded to in The Wasteland. Bianca abandons her husband to become the Duke's mistress. While Livia tricks her niece Isabella. So there are two parallel plots are going. One is about Bianca, another one is Isabella. Isabella into an incestuous relationship with her uncle Hippolito, leading to guilt and devastation. Isabella is a niece actually to Hippolito, but Livia tricks her, makes her to believe that she doesn't know the real identity of her birth and no nothing like she is not at all relative to their family ಅಂತ ಅವಳನ್ನ ನಂಬಿಸಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ, she makes her to fall in love with Hippolyta and to have a incestuous relationship with Hippolyta. Finally, the truth reveals and Isabella suffers from guilt and grief. The betrayals multiply. The play ends in. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಯಾಂಕಾ ಬಂದು ಲಿಯಾನ್ಶಿಯೋನ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾಳೆ, ಪ್ರೀತಿಸಿ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗಿ ಓಡೋಗ್ ಬರ್ತಾಳೆ. ಆದರೆ ಸೊ ಡ್ಯೂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾರೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾನಿಪುಲೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ತಾಳೆ. ಸೊ ಅವನ ಜೊತೆ ಬಂದು ಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾಳೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಯಾನ್ಶಿಯೋಗೆ ಚೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಆಯ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಸಬೆಲ್ಲಾಗೆ ಚೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಲಿವಿಯಾ ಚೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇವನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಲವ್ ಮಾಡೋ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ betrayal, means there are so many lies. The play ends in a violent masquerade massacre where nearly all major characters die. The title warns of how women can be victims and instruments of each other's downfall in a corrupt society. This is about women beware women. Changeling. This is also one of the best tragedies by Middleton. Written by Thomas Middleton in collaboration with William Rowley. Tells the story of Beatrice Joanna, a noble woman who falls in love with Alcimero. Despite being betrothed to another man, Alonso di Piraco. So, ಬಿಯಾಟ್ರೈಸ್ಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಅಲಾನ್ಸೋ ಜೊತೆ ಮದುವೆ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಂಗೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಆದರೆ ಶಿ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಲವ್ ವಿತ್ ಆಲ್ಸಿಮೆರೋ. ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ರಿಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಹರ್ ಬೆಟ್ರೋತ್ಡ್ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ಅಲಾನ್ಸೋ, ಶಿ ಎನ್ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಡಿ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಡಿ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್. A deformed servant whom she despises. She hates him. But to murder him, she appoints D. Flores to murder Alonso to get rid of from her way. D. Flores agrees. Okay, ಅವನನ್ನ ನಾನು ಸಾಯಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ, but not for money. But why? He demands Beatrice's body and sexual submission as his reward because Beatrice hates his deformity, hates him, despises him. So, to teach her a lesson, D. Flores demands her sexual submission as a reward. After the murder, Beatrice is trapped in a web of blackmail and guilt. ಸೊ ಅವಳು ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವನು ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನ ರಿವೀಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಆಸ್ ಡಿ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಹರ್ ಲವರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲರ್. ಸೊ ಅವಳೇನೋ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ ಹೋದ್ಲು, ಇನ್ನೇನೋ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು. She marries Alcimero. Finally, eventually, she marries Alcimero under false pretenses, attempting to conceal her past. But the truth eventually unravels. So, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲೋನ್ಸೋನ ಜೊತೆ ಮದುವೆ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅವನನ್ನ ಏನು ತನ್ನ ದಾರಿಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಗಾಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಡಿ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿರ್ತಾಳೆ. ಡಿ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಅಫೇರ್ ಕೂಡ ರಿವೀಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. When all is exposed, Beatrice and D. Flores die together in a final act of despair. So this is about the changeling. But one more plot is there, subplot. Subplot parallel to this, a comic subplot set in a madhouse where Antonio, a foolish suitor, feigns madness to gain access to Isabella. So there is a character Isabella, Antonio. ಸೊ ಆಂಟೋನಿಯೋ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಹಿ ಪ್ರಿಟೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಫೂಲ್. ಸೊ ಅವ್ನ್ ಪ್ರಿಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಸಬೆಲ್ಲನ ಒಲಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಟ್. ದ ವೈಫ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅಸೈಲಮ್ಸ್ ಕೀಪರ್. ಸೊ ಶಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಮ್ಯಾರಿಡ್ ಟು ಅಸೈಲಮ್ಸ್ ಕೀಪರ್. This subplot mirrors the main plot's themes of disguise, desire, and moral inversion. So this is about changeling. Please do more research about this play. Yes, my dear friends, this is all about Jacobean drama. There are 3 parts regarding Jacobean drama. You might feel, okay, so this is such a big video, I can't watch, but you have to watch because I have given in detail information. Yes, for more information, informative videos, tune to Sahithya Academy channel. Thank you for watching, and my dear friends, if you like the video, please hit thumb button and please do share with your friends and whoever is preparing for exams. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next session.